Good evening. Welcome to this week's MRE Scoop. We are pre-recording here. We are Friday, 11:25, heading off to the Camden Rams Rugby League Sportsman's Lunch up at the good old Camden Golf Club. So heading up there in a moment to support an unreal cause and raise some money for the Camden Rams Rugby League Club. Good job, guys. Isaac Stanley just started with us. You have a new little junior burger, turned 20 today. Happy birthday, legend. Let's give in to our good mates, the clearance rate. Haven't changed the board around too much because there's not a lot more to talk about than what we talked about last week. So other than the numbers have changed slightly, we're still seeing big numbers. That's 600, 650, 700's a lot of auctions. So we're still seeing a big number of auctions. Clearance rate up a little bit more on last week, but bigger volume last week. So that's sort of probably the same amount of properties sold. Talk about where we were for last month. Again, still on track. Spring is in the air. That September, October, November period is, generally speaking, the busiest period of the year. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but it's not quite. But anyway, we'll get to that. And on last year, as any of you MRE scoopers that hang around and watch us, that clearance rate getting into this time last year, 60%. It's been well in the 50s over the last 12 months. So not doom and gloom in regards to right here, right now. Spring is in the air, but we're seeing some good auction volumes, and some clearance rates are certainly pretty good. Notes, again, we talked about them last week. For all you watching me last week, just a bit of a rehash for anyone new. Interest rates. What's Mum say, Sil?
To go up.
Sil's mum, the guru. The guru is saying interest rates are looking at going up in the first week of November, so not next Tuesday, the one after. I hope not, Mum, but we'll see what happens. That will certainly cruel the majority of the retail industry, so you'd think they'd hold off on it. A lot of properties coming on. True, we're seeing a lot more in September and October. Pre-approval, when you're buying, please make sure you're pre-approved. Investors and vendors getting good prices. One thing that I do need to make a mention, and new real estate agents, including our good selves, are going to hate the sound of this. Make sure that if you are, we've been talking about this for 6 months, if you are finding it hard, don't bury your head in the sand. Go and speak to your broker, go and speak to your bank. They are helping people out generally. If you're trying, the banks certainly will help you with that sort of hardship sort of world. Not good for real estate agents. Let's be perfectly honest. Volumes are pretty good now across the board. Volumes are down around about 30% at the moment. They're down nearly closer to 40%. Hence, vendors who are going to the market are still getting a pretty good price because there's not a lot of properties on the market, certainly in the Macarthur area. So if you are finding it tough, been saying this to you guys for months and months, don't bury your head in the sand. Get on the phone to your broker or your bank and tell them where you're at. And I'm hearing on very good authority that they're helping you get through it. Yeah, which is what we want. We're not here to sell your house. We're here to help you get it, stay in it. And if you need to sell it, we'll help you sell it. But if you don't, speak to your bank. Super Saturday last week, we had 8 prems and like 13 open homes. This week, we've got 5 more new properties coming on, which is that time of year. Again, spring is in the air, 5 properties per week. Market is still strong from a buyer's point of view and vendor's point of view because there's not a lot of stock there. So pre-approvals are the key if you are buying. Investors, get back in the market. Still okay if you can handle 6%, get back in the market because we're getting really good rents. We're sort of taking 4 or 5 properties for new leases or new tenancies each week, and they're getting snapped up day one because a lot of banks are making it hard for people to lend. So if you are in the market, stay there. Yeah, stay there. Speak to your broker. Speak to your bank manager. Stay in your house under all circumstances. And I'll see you all next week.